AITA for leaving my cheating girlfriend and taking a dream job overseas instead? Hi, I am Colton, 31. I have been dating Alara, 29, for a little over 3 years. We moved in together last spring. A small 2-bedroom apartment, decent neighborhood, nothing fancy. I work in corporate event planning. Basically, I organize high-end conferences, trade shows, and corporate retreats. It is not glamorous, but it pays well. It has a lot of moving parts, and if you are good, people notice. The past year had been steady work during the week, quiet weekends, seeing friends, watching games with the guys. Alara worked a normal 9 to 5, mostly remote. Everything seemed fine, not perfect, but fine. Then her ex came back into the picture. She mentioned it as a side note one night. Oh, by the way, Axel's back from Chicago. I did not think much of it. People move. Life goes on. But the following Saturday, she told me she had a project meeting with him and a few friends. Something about an online startup idea, maybe some charity work. She was vague. I did not push it. At first, it was just Saturdays. Then she added Sunday brunches because the project is growing. Then Friday nights because Axel has deadlines. Suddenly, 3 nights a week were blocked off for this mystery startup that I never saw any evidence of. There was no website, no slide decks, no notes, nothing. I started noticing things. She got really dressed up for these meetings. New blouses, hair done, makeup I had not seen on our own date nights in months. Her phone was always face down. One Friday, my friend Beckett sent me an Instagram story of a local concert. Hey, isn't this Alara? Yep, there she was with Axel. She had told me she was at her parents' house that night. When I brought it up, she rolled her eyes. Colton, it was a last-minute invitation. You are acting jealous over nothing. It's just the project team hanging out. I let it go. I tried to be the cool boyfriend. I did not want to be that guy who forbids his girlfriend from having friends. But my friend Trent was not buying it. He is the blunt one in our group. Bro, nobody has meetings 3 days a week for a project with no web page. He told me over beers one night. That is not a startup. That is an after-school club. Here's the kicker. While all this was happening, I had a massive career opportunity sitting in my inbox. Our company's London office had offered me a senior event manager position, a huge promotion, a $130,000 salary, a corporate apartment near the river, flights home twice a year, the kind of job that sets you up for life if you do it right. The first time, I turned it down because Alara said she could not imagine leaving her family. I turned it down again 2 months later when they asked again. My boss, Preston, told me I was crazy. Colton, you manage some of the biggest corporate events we have. You are wasting your talent staying here. He said London was the big leagues, global clients, luxury venues, international suppliers. This is how you level up. I kept saying no for Alara. By the 5th or 6th project night, it was getting hard to ignore. We had not had a proper date in over a month. She was either at these meetings or too tired from them. One Saturday morning, she was getting ready again. New dress, new perfume, hair curled. I was making coffee, watching her pack her laptop like she was heading to a board meeting. Hey, I said casually. They opened that new Korean barbecue place downtown. Want to check it out tonight? She did not even look up. Can't. Project meeting. On a Saturday night. She sighed as if I was the difficult one. Colton, we have talked about this. Axel and I are friends. It's a team thing. If you can't trust me hanging out with my ex every weekend, maybe we should not be together. I just stood there because, what do you say to that? She was staring at me, expecting a fight. I did not give her one. Maybe you are right, I said. Finally, she blinked. Wait, what? I did not repeat myself. I finished my coffee, walked into the bedroom, and opened my laptop. The email to Preston was short. I'm in for London. When do you need me? His reply came in 5 minutes. 2 weeks. I'll fast-track everything with HR. My intercompany transfer visa had already been pre-approved. Once I said yes, the paperwork was in motion that same day. That was it. No dramatic music, no long speech. One email, one decision, and 3 years with Alara suddenly felt like they had an expiration date. I closed the laptop and walked back into the living room. She was still there, ready for her meeting, looking at me like I had grown a second head. What was that? She asked. Work stuff? I said, tilting my head. You look serious. I am, I said, grabbing my jacket. Big changes are coming. She frowned. Colton, If this is about what I said, Alara, you said if I do not trust you with Axel, maybe we should not be together. I am just agreeing with you. Her face shifted fast, from confused to defensive, then angry. You are twisting my words. I did not mean break up. I meant you need to be less controlling. I let out one short, humorless laugh. Right? Because asking my girlfriend to spend time with me instead of her ex sometimes is controlling. She did not have a comeback. I left before another speech could start. Monday morning, Preston called me. Colton, glad you came to your senses. We're handling the paperwork. Housing, relocation, first-class flight, all set. The London office wants you on the Global Expo project next quarter. It is the kind of work that builds careers. I told him I appreciated it. I hung up feeling lighter. Alara texted me mid-morning. I was on edge Saturday. Let's talk tonight. I did not reply. That evening, she came home calmer. Colton, I do not want to lose you over something small. I will cut back on the project nights. I was packing a box when she said it. She stared for a moment. What's that? Stuff I will not need before I go to London, I said. She blinked. London? What do you mean? I took the job, I said. I start in 2 weeks. What? Her voice went up an octave. They offered it again. Better pay, housing included. A career-making event in the first month. I said yes. You can't just decide that without talking to me. I put the packing tape down. Alara, I turned it down twice for you. Meanwhile, you are spending half your week with your ex on some mystery project. You said maybe we should not be together if I did not trust you. So I am making things simple. She looked at me like I had slapped her. You are blowing this way out of proportion. Axel and I are just friends. Friends who need to see each other 3 nights a week? Friends you get more dressed up for than me? Come on, Alara. You know I love you. Maybe, I said. But you definitely love Project Night more. She crossed her arms. So that is it. You are just running away. I am moving forward, I said. Big difference. The rest of the week was silent between us. She kept going to her meetings. I kept packing. Trent came by Thursday night to pick up a few things I was selling before the move. I told him about the job. He whistled. London, Manitoba. That is huge. About time you stopped wasting energy on Alara's drama. Beckett texted me later. So you are really leaving? Yep, I replied. In 2 weeks. He responded with a screenshot someone had posted on Instagram. Alara and Axel at a diner. Caption, Project Fuel. Trent wrote, Bro, nobody believes that project is real. I did not respond. Saturday morning, Alara tried again. Colton, please, I will quit the project. I will cut Axel off. We can fix this. You said we should not be together if I did not trust you. I said, folding another shirt. I am just respecting what you said. She grabbed my arm. I did not mean it literally. Maybe you should start saying what you actually mean, I replied. She stormed out of the apartment. Sunday afternoon, Preston sent over the flight details. First-class ticket, direct flight, corporate driver waiting for me at Heathrow. Temporary apartment right on the river. He attached photos. The place looked incredible. Monday, I went to work as usual. Alara texted all day. We need to talk. Do not do this. I will change. I ignored her. After work, I stopped by Beckett's place. Trent was there too. I told them about the housing photos, the global project, the raise. Beckett grinned. Man, that is a glow-up. Alara's going to lose her mind. She already is, I said. Trent asked, Did you tell her when you are leaving? Saturday. Flight's at 3. Beckett shook his head. She is going to try something. I can feel it coming. Maybe, but it did not matter. The decision was made. By Friday, HR handed me my relocation documents, final pay details, housing contract, everything. Preston clapped me on the shoulder after the meeting. You are going to kill it over there, Colton. Do not look back. I was not planning on it. That night, Trent called. Bro, he said, his voice buzzing with excitement. Are you home? Yeah, packing. Drop everything. You need to see this. I drove to his place. Beckett was already there, phone in hand, smiling like he had won the lottery. Trent spun his laptop around. Remember Axel's big project? Someone from the gym where he works as a trainer went live on Instagram tonight. Guess who was in the background, running his mouth about everything? I leaned in. There was Axel in a trainer's shirt, leaning on a counter, talking just loud enough for the mic to catch every word. I'm telling you, man, she is basically my girl now. Her boyfriend has no idea. He thinks she is working on some charity thing. We are seeing each other 3 nights a week. The poor guy is at home folding laundry while she is here with me. Laughter off camera. Beckett paused it. That was 10 minutes ago. Public stream. Anyone could see it. A couple of local meme pages had clipped it within the hour, and it started making the rounds in group chats. Trent scrolled through screenshots of comments. Axel outing himself on live. Nah, the boyfriend's folding laundry while you are bragging online, bro. I felt weirdly calm, like I had been waiting for proof, and here it was, gift-wrapped. You gonna send it to Alara? Beckett asked. I nodded, sending her just one screenshot and a single word. Interesting. No explanation. 5 minutes later, my phone exploded with notifications. Colton, what is that? It is taken out of context. Please answer me. I put my phone face down. Saturday morning, Alara showed up at the apartment with her mom and sister. Her mom started talking before I even closed the door. Colton, honey, Alara says you are making impulsive decisions, quitting your job, moving to London. This is not you. I cut her off. First, I am not quitting. I am transferring. Big difference. Second, I turned this job down twice for Alara. Meanwhile, she has been spending half her week at her ex's apartment. Her sister, Harlow, crossed her arms. That does not prove they were doing anything. I opened Trent's laptop and played the clip from the live stream, with Axel admitting basically everything. Silence. Alara's mom shifted uncomfortably. Well, she muttered. He could be joking. I looked at Alara. Is he joking? She turned red. Colton, are you trying to humiliate me? I did not, I said. Axel did that. They just switched tactics. Her mom softened her voice. Honey, relationships go through phases. You do not throw away 3 years over one mistake. I laughed. One mistake? This has been going on for months. And she is the one who said maybe we should not be together if I did not trust her. I am just taking her advice. Harlow tried another angle. In the apartment? She has been living here. The lease and utilities are in my name only, I said. She still uses her parents' address for her mail. That shut them up. Alara finally exploded. So you are just going to dump me like I am nothing? You made your choice, I said. I am making mine. Sunday afternoon, Beckett sent me another screenshot. Axel in the gym's group chat. Guys, you gotta see this girl I am hooking up with. Her BF thinks we're building a startup, LMAO. I forwarded it to Alara with no comment. She called. I did not answer. Tuesday, HR sent me the final itinerary. Flight on Saturday at 3 p.m. Corporate driver confirmed. Keys to the London apartment waiting with building security. Preston stopped by my desk. Ready for the big leagues? More than ready, I said. Wednesday night, Trent came over with pizza and packing tape. Man, this is going to be legendary. Leaving all this mess behind. First class ticket, new city, big job. Alara's going to hate it. Not my problem, I said, sealing a box. Beckett texted me. Axel's telling people you are having a mental breakdown. That is why you are leaving. I laughed so hard I dropped the tape. Right, because taking a $130,000 job in London is definitely a breakdown. Trent smirked. Jealousy makes people say stupid stuff. Thursday, Alara made one last attempt. She came over, eyes filled with tears. She said she had made a mistake, that Axel meant nothing, that we could start over. I told her stuff would be in boxes by the door. She called me cold. I did not argue. In 24 hours, I would be on a plane, and I was not looking back. Saturday morning, the movers arrived on time, too quick, efficient guys. I had packed everything I was not shipping to London the night before. The rest was boxed and labeled for storage. Trent and Beckett showed up with coffees in hand. Big day, Trent said, handing me one. The biggest, I replied. They helped with the last few boxes, joking about Axel's livestream fiasco. That dude must be hiding under a rock today, Beckett said, sliding a box toward the door. Cleo roasted him so bad I almost felt sorry for him. Almost, Trent said. But not really. I smiled. He earned it. By noon, the apartment was empty except for my luggage and a pile of boxes by the door labeled Alara. I had texted her earlier. Your stuff is here. You can get it whenever. No response. Around noon, Trent texted me. You need to see this right now. I opened the link. Another live stream from the gym. Cleo was standing near the treadmills, phone in hand, her voice steady but loud enough for everyone to hear. So, Axel, she said, you want to explain why my DMs are full of screenshots of you bragging about cheating on me? About sneaking around with someone else's girlfriend? The camera panned. Axel was by the weight rack, pale as a ghost. Cleo, come on. This is not the place. Oh, this is exactly the place, she shot back. You use this gym to show off, to tell your little buddies how clever you are. Now, tell everyone how many other girls you were texting while you were with me. Tell them how you were laughing about Colton while you were messing around with Alara. Go on, we are all waiting. Someone off camera said, bro's been getting exposed for weeks. Cleo held up her phone. Should I read the part where you said her boyfriend was a chump, or the part where you said you were going to upgrade after me? The live stream chat exploded. People commenting, laughing, dropping clown emojis. Axel tried to leave. A couple of guys blocked the door, arms crossed, smirking like they had paid for front row seats. Not so fast, champ, one of them said. Finish your set. Cleo read 2 more texts, each worse than the last. People in the gym were recording it from every angle. Finally, she dropped his house key on the floor. It clattered loudly. We are done, Axel. And by the time you get home, your stuff will be on the curb. She walked out to actual applause. Real applause. Axel just stood there, frozen, as someone yelled, Hey, start up. Need a new hobby? The live stream ended, but clips were already circulating. The same meme accounts picked it up, and it was viral across the city by the afternoon. By the time I finished watching, the comments were savage. Memes everywhere, people tagging him. A total public meltdown. At 1 o'clock, Beckett got a text from an acquaintance at Axel's gym and started laughing. Oh my God, Axel just posted a mega rant about fake friends betraying him. People in the comments just keep posting the live stream screenshots. Dude does not know when to quit, Trent said. I glanced at my phone. Alara was watching too. I saw her shoulders tense up as she read something. At 1:30, I locked the apartment door for the last time. Alara followed me to the car. Colton, please do not go, she said, grabbing my arm. I made mistakes. I was stupid. Do not throw us away. I looked at her. You already threw us away. She flinched like I had hit her. I got in the car. Trent was driving me to the airport. Beckett took the front seat. Alara just stood on the curb, watching us drive away. On the way, Trent asked, Nervous? Not really, I said. More like ready. At the airport, Alara texted again. I'm on my way there. We need to talk before you leave. I did not reply. I checked in, dropped my bag, went through security. First class, global entry, it all took minutes. The airport was only 15 minutes from my apartment. At 2:30, sitting at the gate, I took a picture with the London flight sign behind me. I sent it to Trent for the group chat. Perfect. Post it, he replied. I did not. I just sent it to Alara when she texted again. Where are you? No text, just the picture. She replied in seconds. This is not funny, Colton. Do not do this. I am almost there. Boarding in 10, I texted back. No response. At 2:50, they made the final boarding call. I switched my phone to airplane mode, grabbed my carry-on, and walked down the jet bridge. First class seat, a glass of champagne waiting. I did not touch it. I just leaned back as the plane filled up, watching the luggage get loaded out the window. For the first time in months, everything felt quiet. 8 hours later, we touched down in London. A driver in a suit was holding a sign with my name on it. He took my bags and led me to a black sedan. He handed me a welcome packet from the company, building access cards, a local SIM, an orientation schedule, and a note from Preston, Monday, 9 a.m. Sharp. Big week ahead. The apartment was on the 12th floor overlooking the river. Modern furniture, a balcony, kitchen stocked with the basics. Corporate housing, but nice. I sent a picture to Trent and Beckett. They replied with fire emojis and, you are living like James Bond now. Sunday morning, I woke up to another string of texts from Alara. Colton, please call me. We can fix this. I will prove it to you. I blocked Axel. Do not ignore me. I left them on read. Or rather, unopened. At noon, I went for a walk along the Thames, getting my bearings. Found a coffee shop, a small gym, a grocery store nearby. Normal life. Back at the apartment, I opened my laptop. I already had work emails about the global expo I would be leading, budgets, venue blueprints, VIP lists, the kind of project people fight for years. I ordered food, ate dinner on the balcony, watching the city lights come on. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Monday morning came fast. I left the flat early, grabbed a coffee at the shop on the corner, and walked the 15 minutes to the office. The weather was cool, gray sky, a light drizzle halfway through. Classic London, apparently. The building looked like something out of a movie: glass, steel, revolving doors, a lobby with plants that probably cost more than my car back home. The front desk handed me a badge with my name and title: Colton, Senior Event Manager. Not going to lie, seeing it in print felt different. Preston met me on the third floor. "Colton, welcome to the big leagues," he said, shaking my hand. "Come on, I will introduce you to the team." The office was a mix of open-plan areas and meeting rooms with writable walls. People from all over. I heard a half-dozen different accents in the first 10 minutes. Everyone was sharply dressed, talking fast, moving like they knew exactly what they were doing. Preston pointed out my desk by a window, handed me a binder with the week's schedule, then pulled me straight into a meeting. "This," he said, "is the Global Expo Project, our biggest event of the year. CEOs, industry leaders, A-list speakers, you name it. You will be handling lead logistics for the main venue, VIP transport, the gala dinner, and the closing ceremony. It is a monster. You ready?" I looked at the spreadsheets, the venue maps, the timelines. It was my kind of organized chaos. "Yeah," I said. "I am ready." By lunch, I had met half the department. My direct team was 3 people: Nova from Dublin, Soren from Mumbai, and Lyra from Manchester. All bright, friendly, and clearly curious about the new guy who just transferred from across the pond. Nova grinned as we grabbed sandwiches downstairs. "So you are the one who left it all behind for this place, eh?" "Something like that," I said. "Hope it is worth it," she replied. "It already feels like it," I answered. And I meant it. Back home that evening, I checked my personal phone for the first time since lunch. 17 missed calls from Alara. 3 from unknown numbers, probably Axel. 5 texts from Beckett and Trent with memes of Axel getting humiliated at the gym. One video already had 500,000 views. Someone had set the clip of Cleo reading his texts aloud to clown music. The comments were brutal. Project F canceled due to lack of integrity. And bro made a whole PowerPoint on how to ruin his own life. Beckett texted, "He has not shown his face at the gym since. Everyone calls him Startup now." I laughed out loud in my empty flat. It could not have been more perfect. The week flew by, days filled with meetings, site visits, and calls with vendors. Evenings at the gym or running along the river. I started sleeping better, eating better. I felt clear, lighter. Friday afternoon, Preston called me into his office. "Colton, your work this week has been outstanding. Nova says you are already fixing things we have been struggling with for months. Keep this up, and London will not just be a transfer, it will be home." "I appreciate that," I said. He then glanced at my phone on the table. "Everything sorted back home? I was told you left under dramatic circumstances." I gave a half smile. "You could say that." "Well," he said, "a blank slate is underrated. Use it well." Saturday morning, I tried the gym 2 blocks from my flat. Good spot, lots of natural light, great equipment. Halfway through my workout, 2 guys nearby were talking about the viral video. "Did you see that dude at Flex Gym? His girl broke up with him in front of everyone. Called him out for cheating. The whole internet is laughing at him." Man, I kept a straight face, finished my set, and said nothing. Sunday afternoon, I went exploring. Walked through Borough Market, ate at a food stall, visited Tower Bridge like a total tourist. I sent pictures to Beckett and Trent. Beckett replied, "Bro living like a king." Then he added, "Meanwhile, Alara's posting sad quotes on Facebook. The scenes are incredible." I checked. He was not kidding. Her last 3 posts were things like, "Sometimes people have to leave to find themselves, and pain makes you stronger." Limited comments, of course. Trent sent another screenshot. Axel had tried to host a networking mixer at his apartment on Friday. 4 people showed up, 2 left early. Someone posted a picture of the empty snack table with the caption, "Startup attendance looking bleak." Could not have happened to a more deserving guy. Monday morning, Nova caught me by the coffee machine. "We are going out Friday night. Team thing. You should come." "Sure," I said. "Great," she replied. "Oh, and for what it is worth, Lyra thinks you are cute." I laughed. Noted. Friday night, I went out with the team to a rooftop bar near the river. First real night out since I moved. Nova introduced me to half the world. Someone ordered food for the table. Conversations about travel, work, random London stories. For the first time in months, no drama, no tension, no waiting for my phone to blow up with bad news. Just a good night in a new city with new people. And I was not thinking about Alara or Axel or any of it. Not anymore. One morning, Nova waved me over. "Colton, you have someone downstairs for you." And she looks intense. I frowned. Who? Reception had called up. A visitor had signed in and was refusing to leave. I went down to the lobby, and there she was. Alara. Hair a mess, sunglasses on indoors, a suitcase by her side like she was ready to move in. "Colton," she said as soon as she saw me, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Finally. You have been ignoring me." "Alara," I said carefully. "What are you doing here?" She put a hand on her hip. "I flew across an ocean to talk to you. The least you could do is buy me a coffee." "Alara, this is my office. You can't just show up unannounced." She rolled her eyes. "I am your girlfriend." "Of course I can." "No," I said. "You are not." People in the lobby were definitely listening now. She scoffed. "Oh, please. You think moving here changes anything? You are still the same Colton who begged me to move in with him, who turned down this job twice for me. And now you are ignoring my calls and acting like you are better than me just because you are in London." I kept my voice calm. "Alara, you said we should not be together if I did not trust you with Axel, remember?" She waved a hand as if swatting the air. "You overreacted." I was stressed. "You know I did not mean it." "You went to his apartment 3 nights a week for months," I said. "You lied about it." He bragged about it online. Cleo confronted him in front of half the city. It does not seem like I was the one overreacting. Alara crossed her arms. "Seriously? You are going to throw away 3 years over some stupid livestream?" "No," I said. "I threw it away when you made it clear what your priorities were." Just then, security arrived. Professional, but firm. "Sir, is this visitor authorized to be in the building?" I shook my head. "She is leaving." Alara glared at them. "I am not going anywhere. I flew all the way here to save our relationship." One of the guards replied, "Ma'am, this is private property. If you are not an invited guest, you will have to leave." She looked at me as if I had betrayed her. "Wow, you are really going to have them kick me out? After everything? I gave up things for you." I stared at her. "What exactly did you give up, Alara?" "Because all I saw was you at Axel's apartment while I was turning down London for you." Her jaw tightened for a second. I thought she might throw something, but she did not. She just grabbed the handle of her suitcase like it had personally insulted her and stormed out as the guards followed. That afternoon, she was waiting for me outside the building. "Colton, talk to me," she said, stepping in my way. I sighed. "What do you want, Alara?" "I want you to stop acting like a victim, like you are so perfect and I am some villain." "You lied for months," I said. "You talked down about me to your friends. You told them I would never leave because I was too afraid to start over. Did you not humiliate yourself?" She laughed in disbelief. "Oh, please. That is just drama. People fight. Couples break up and get back together. That is life." I shook my head. "No, that is your life. It is not mine anymore." She crossed her arms. "So what? You think you are too good for me now? Because you have a fancy job and a riverfront apartment? You think London makes you a king?" I did not take the bait. "I think London made it clear what I should have done a long time ago." 2 days later, Alara posted a novel-length paragraph on Facebook about how she went to London to fight for love, but I had changed and was chasing money instead of real connections. The comments did not go the way she had hoped. One read, "Girl, wasn't Axel your real connection 3 nights a week?" Another, "Didn't Cleo just roast you on a live stream? Bold of you to post this." She deleted the post after 2 hours. Alara did not try to contact me again after that time outside the building. Maybe she thought silence would make me change my mind. It did not. I spent the week buried in the Global Expo project, site visits, vendor contracts, security meetings. The biggest event of the year, and I was running point on all logistics. There was no time for drama. Midweek, Preston stopped by my desk. "Colton, the directors love your work. They want to keep you on long term. We will handle the visa and make it a permanent position if you are in." I did not hesitate. "I am in." Back in the States, Alara's situation went from bad to worse. Beckett called one night. Did you hear about the tax stuff? Only bits, I said. She owes 3 years of back taxes to the IRS with heavy penalties. Her parents paid it off, but on the condition that she moves back home and pays them back. She is in her old childhood bedroom again. I did not say anything. There was not much to say. Oh, and that new guy she started seeing? He already got back with his ex. Alara found out when she showed up at his place unannounced. Patterns do not change that fast. Axel had his own problems. The gym fired him as a trainer after the livestream video went viral, too much bad press. He picked up shifts at a smaller place across town, but the reputation followed him. People whispered. Clients left. One day, Cleo sent me a picture. Axel leaving his old gym, carrying a box of his stuff. No message. None was needed. He texted me once from an unknown number. Bro, we should get a drink. Clear the air. I deleted the message without replying. Meanwhile, London was feeling more and more like home. The Global Expo went off perfectly. Hotels booked, stages built, transport coordinated. When the first VIPs arrived, everything ran on schedule. Preston shook my hand after the closing ceremony. Not a single delay. The sponsors are thrilled. You made it look easy, Colton. It was not, but it was the kind of work that made sense. Clear goals, visible results. Outside of work, my life was improving, too. Lyra and I started spending weekends together, markets, museums, drives out of the city, normal things I did not realize I missed until they were back in my life. One Saturday, we rented bikes and rode along the river to a little village with a cafe that served the best scones I had ever had. A simple day, no drama, no surprises. Beckett and Trent visited in May. We watched a soccer match, ate at a pub, toured the city. Beckett could not stop laughing. Last time we saw you, he said, you were packing boxes while Alara was screaming in the parking lot. Now you have got a permanent job, a girlfriend, and you look like you actually sleep. London suits you, Trent added. They were right. The company announced my permanent position at the quarterly meeting. Visa approved. I signed the contract that day. Lyra and I booked a weekend trip to Paris to celebrate. On the train, as London faded behind us, I thought about how much had changed in less than a year. In February, I was folding laundry while Alara was out on project nights, turning down opportunities to keep a relationship alive that was already dead. By summer, the job was mine, the move was permanent, and the drama was buried under real work and new plans. In Paris, we spent the first night walking along the Seine, eating street crepes, watching the lights come on. No angry parent phone calls, no exes showing up unannounced, no late-night fights about trust or boundaries. Just a clean break from everything I had left behind. When I got back, Preston asked if I wanted to lead next year's European conference. Bigger than the expo, multiple cities, more responsibility. I said yes before he finished the sentence. Axel faded from public conversation after that. Cleo moved to another city for a new job. Trent said she was doing well, dating someone normal. Alara stayed quiet. Beckett heard she was taking night classes somewhere, keeping to herself. None of it touched my life anymore. I kept running along the river in the mornings. I kept taking on bigger projects at work. I kept building a life that did not depend on waiting for someone else's decisions to stop hurting me. By winter, London was mine. The job, the friends, the trips with Lyra, the plans for the future. None of it had room for the old chaos. The last time Beckett called, he asked if I had any regrets. Yeah, I said. Just one. What is that? Not taking the London job the first time they offered it to me. If you like the stories, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.